Hey, welcome to an episode of Nice and Riced. It has been months. November was the last update. Lots of changes, mostly in the car that I'm driving. As you can see, this is not the EK Coupe. This is actually an EG Hatch 94DX. The reason for the change was ultimately there was nothing really wrong with the EK Coupe other than the fact that I personally felt like I had inherited somebody else's finished project. The car was already lowered. The car already had all the subframe stuff done to it that I would have wanted to do. It already had the rear strut, the front struts. It had a, max speed and recoil overs all the way around. So ultimately there was nothing for me to really do. The wiring outside of the ignition wiring, there was nothing really there for me to do other than pull the motor and do the motor stuff, which is cool. But for someone like me, I like tinkering on the stuff and really digging in and figuring everything out. So I was ultimately just bored, in all reality. Like I said, it was a great car, sounded great, drove fantastically, shifted smooth. There was fundamentally nothing wrong with the car. All I was really able to do in a, sense of modifying anything, again, was I changed the air intake and then put new spark plugs in, do a new oil change, and then I was just like, well, I guess I could pull the motor and put a new clutch and do a Vitara build on it, but there was nothing really there for me to do on a day-to-day basis that I could really enjoy doing, because I'm just the kind of person who always has to be doing something on these cars to really just enjoy them. So a opportunity presented itself where this kid wanted to trade my EK for this EG, and before I show you it, it is rough. Like, the speedometer doesn't work, so I had to change out the speedometer. I've got a GPS one running to this, and I saw this on Instagram and was like, oh, I bet I could make one of those. So I made one of those. All of the dashboard covers under here are essentially missing, which is, a blessing in disguise, because now I have easier access for all the wiring that I want to do. I have access to the clutch pedal assembly that's going to go in there, which I've already got secured. The AC doesn't work, it only blows heat. I got to get a new dash, which, again, whatever. I finally got the horn working, because the horn, it didn't even have horns. I had to get aftermarket horns and then figure out the wiring on that, which was an experience. Updated the interior. I got Prelude seats, fixed all the door dash. It didn't have the glove box, which originally, as you can see, it's all smashed in and missing panels, but the glove box was literally zip tight closed, so I had to get a new one of those. The paint is rough. It's been spray painted. So let's step outside and have a look right now. So this is essentially the little shit box that could. It came on Miata wheels, so I'll post a picture of that, of what it looked like. It's already had the Integra rear disc brake conversion done, so we got discs on the rear. It's running on eBay coilovers, which I'm going to address what we're changing on that later. I think, is this open? Nope, let me get this trunk open real quick. So in the back, I've already put my sub in. I've thrown in an Ultra Racing chassis brace, which I've actually riv nutted to the chassis, as well as this board for the sub is actually hard mounted into the car itself, because I didn't want it rattling around back here and I wanted everything tightened up. It's got a full Yanaka header back exhaust, as well as all the new subframe bracing that I've already put on it. And then let's go around the pretty side. This was originally the corner was blue, and I painted it in a rush and just got it white. It's already faded, but it's got the coupe front end with the fog lights in the front. And then originally, hang on, sorry for the angle change, originally when I got the car, this entire bracket was just gone. This lower torque mount was gone, so the whole car was basically being held up by the rear mount and the two top mounts. I managed to get my Integra strut bar off of the coupe before I sold it and hard mounted it in. I got my intake as well, because all they had was that Amazon plastic crap, the one that, you know, the oh, it's the whale penis one. Yeah, no, I wanted my AEM intake. I got that. I got all new motor mounts in every corner of the car, so that's all done. I've got to change out the brake booster because it is leaking. But the plan is, I've got to fix this wiring. This was the horn fix. This was the, I need to get my horn on the car, so I've got to tidy up all this wiring. But there's a big old room here, so everyone can obviously guess what's going to actually go in here. When I got it, the wiring was so just messy that I had to go in and re-clean everything up and reorganize everything. Had to change the alternator out the other day. It was the quickest alternator I did, because most people say you have to drop it from the bottom. No, I undid these two, undid one over there, lifted this up, and the whole alternator came up and out through here, because I'm not crawling under the car. Yeah, so it left me stranded a couple times, but had to fix that up and do that. So plans for the car are essentially to do the 5-speed Vitara build on it. I've already got an OBD1 harness that I'm converting to run OBD2 distributor and OBD2 injectors, so this will be swapped out for a D16Y8 with a 5-speed in it. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, I am sorry for the lack of updates, but just life has been absolutely hectic, and hopefully we can get things back on track and start putting out regular content with this again. So yeah, that's all. Alright, well, thank you, have a good day, have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.